Quran mentions a shocking thing about Ashab-e-Kahf, the people of Kahf, that we usually overlook. Do you know what that is? Imagine you went in a dark cave and you saw some young men sleeping on the ground with dog. Would you run away in the terror to save your life? No. It isn't such a terrifying thing itself. Perhaps you might just be afraid from the dog. But Quran tells us spine-chilling details regarding to the people of Kahf. Surah Kahf, verse 18, Allah Almighty states, if you had looked at them, you would have turned back from them in flight and been filled with terror. So that was not an ordinary fear. The word used in the Quran is Ru'b. It represents a specific type of terror that breaks a human from inside, a fear that numbs your mind. And its root words are Ra, Ain, Ba, meaning a severe paralyzing terror that completely takes over your heart, your mind, and sets a human physiology. It's instantly trigger your natural instinct to save your life, which is why Quran mentioned flee or escape immediately. So what was actually happening in the cave that was terrifying? Before I answer that, let us establish who we are talking about. Ashabe-Kahf were the group of brave monotheistic young men who rebelled against tyrannic polytheistic society to protect their faith and lives that took refuge in the mountain cave and prayed to their creator for mercy. And their creator responded them through mysterious, scientifically astonishing miracle in the human history. Welcome back. This is the episode 7 of our Knowing Allah series. This is Sheikh Salman, and today we will be examining deep hidden science behind the people of Kahf. But very first and important point, complete and perfect knowledge belongs to Allah. Today we are just doing Tadabbur. Tadabbur means pondering and reflecting over the sign of Quran, exactly as Allah commanded us. Today we will explore two incredible concepts regarding to the people of Kahf, that what was actually happening in the cave. So be prepared to change your perspective into reality. To understand extreme terror of Ru'b, eliminate this thing from your mind. The people of Kahf were merely sleeping a long sleep. Think about it. What happens when you sleep? Your heart is beating, your lungs are breathing, your mind is dreaming, and you take sides. If you sleep in one position for too long, then your body would begin to itch. Imagine this for 309 years. This is physically impossible. Your body would completely decay and rot, which is why Quran didn't use normal word for sleep like Naum or resting place, Ruqud. Instead of that, the word used in the Quran is Ruqud for the people of Kahf. In the medical terminology, Ruqud means complete deep standstill. A complete deep coma where entire body function forcefully shut down. Ponder this for a moment. Modern science has only recently differentiated between deep coma where entire body function forcefully shut down or normal sleep. How could a book 1400 years ago know avoid to saying they sleep, Naum, instead of that use exact perfect word for suspended physical system, Ruqud. But there is another problem. How can you instantly put someone into deep coma? Quran gives us exact physical switch. Surah Kahf, verse 11, Allah Almighty states, we cast a cover over their ear in the cave. It literally meaning is Fadarabna adhanihim, meaning we struck over their ear. Let's understand what does it mean. Think human body as a complex computer. When a computer freezes or hang, what do you usually do? You do not press any button from the keyboard. You just press and hold the power button for hard restart. In human structure, area behind ear must take process and weak as nervous called human restart button. A precise impact or a specific frequency on it doesn't just make you deep, it's instantly shut down your nervous system. It's immediately drop your body into a deep coma. So Allah just didn't command them to sleep, but a powerful biological method used to shut down their body. Deep understanding of nervous system is the product of modern science. How it was humanly possible in 7th century to point out exact physical switch that includes coma. Now comes to the second stage. They were unconscious, but we have another massive problem. They were in deep coma, but their body is still using energy. Think human heart as an engine of a car. As long as engine of a car runs, it burns fuel. In human body, it calls metabolism. Heart pumps blood, burns calories, and cell breakdown. If you leave a running car for 309 years in the garage, then its fuel will be run out in few days or few hours and engine would be rust. If their heart were beating for 300 years without food and water, then body will consume itself and completely destroy. To preserve their body for a long time, you must switch off the engine. Now ready to be amazed. Consider verse 14. Allah Almighty states, we bond their heart. The word used in the Quran is Rabatana. Traditional Islamic scholar translated his word as we strain their heart with curse. But look at the physical reality. Rabatana means tie down, blind or physically hard. Their heart and blood vessels were stopped. Their engine were turned off into 0 beat per minute. By stopping their heart and engine, their metabolism dropped into 0. When body wasn't working, aging didn't occur, cell wear and tear stopped, and their physical aging was frozen right there. Ponder this for a moment. Biggest research agency, NASA, is struggling to invent very process how to achieve this. 1400 years ago, Quran precisely stated fundamental requirement to preserve a body for a long time. Simply switch off the engine and slowing the heartbeat to the complete halt. But wait, even the heart stops. A body just cannot lie on the floor for 300 years because of gravity and oxygen. If you leave a fresh apple on the table, oxygen in the air causes it to rot and bacteria would consume it. Furthermore, if a human body just lie on the stone for 300 years, gravity pulls flesh and blood downwards, creating bad sores, causing the flesh die within few days. So how will the problem of oxygen and gravity solved? So answer is in the Quran, verse 17. Allah Almighty states, they were in the free space in the cave. That was not a large room. The environment of the cave fundamentally altered. The free space, the fazaba, transformed into zero vacuum gravity. Where there is no gravity, all moisturizer and bacteria were removed from the cave. Without bacteria and moisturizer, body wouldn't be rot. But even more incredible was that gravity was eliminated. If there was no gravity pulling your body downwards, body wouldn't get bad sores and wouldn't be crushed by its own weight. Why? Because they are in zero gravity, a place which is free from the gravity. They were floating mid in the air, like human body levitate in the space. They were suspended right within the cave. The concept of zero vacuum gravity to preserve a body belongs to space science. How could a book 1400 years ago describing such an environment with precise details? Now you need all this thing and put yourself in the place of traveler who wanting into the cave. You light on torch, he looks up. You don't see the 7 men sleeping on the ground with dog. Instead of that, you saw 7 body floating 10 feet in the air. Their heart were completely still. They are not breathing. Do you know what is most terrifying? Allah says in Quran, verse 18, you would think they were awake because their eyes were fully open, staring into the darkness unblinking. Then you saw a place with zero gravity. They were floating mid in the air. Their eyes were fully open, staring at you. Which is why Allah mentioned in Quran, if you had looked at them, you would have turned back for them in flight and feel with terror. Now the secret has been revealed. Why Allah says in Quran, after seeing this terrifying scene, you will feel with dread and forced to be run to save your life. And after observing these all things, you realize the entity who created you, the entity that always responded to your prayer, the entity who omnipotent to do everything, only He deserves to be worshipped, so that is Allah. Subscribe.